Hey y'all, Justin with Kayak Catfish. On today's video, I'm going to leave the catfish alone and go after some white bass and some strappers. In my last video, I was doing some catfishing out in the main channel, drifting along that main channel edge, and right around dawn, I noticed a ton of surface activity over here along the shoreline. And I was so far away, I couldn't tell if those were white bass that were busting the surface or if they were strappers. But regardless, I want to catch them. So I'm back out here today to target them specifically. So what I'm going to do, I've came out here this morning. I don't see any surface activity going on right now. So I'm going to start out trolling for these fish. And I'm going to use 2 rods to start with. This first one here, I'm going to have a old redfin plug on there. That's just a black and white redfin. These baits are tried and true for striped bass. They're a shallow running plug. They just run a foot or 2 under the surface. You can troll them at higher speeds. They are an awesome striped bass bait. So I'll have that on one side of the kayak. On the other side of the kayak, I've got a spinning rod here, and this one has a small spoon tied on. That is a sumo spoon, and we'll use this to target the white bass with. And again, this will be running just slightly under the surface there. Now I'm going to troll. I'm going to work the shoreline here, kind of zigzagging in and out. I'll vary my speed between like 2.5 miles an hour and 3.5 miles an hour. And I'm just going to cover water until I locate these fish. Now once I get on them, assuming I do, we'll start casting for them. And if it happens to be striped bass that we're catching, well, I'll just cast this redfin plug. It's a good bait to troll and it's a good bait to cast. You'll catch them either way. If it's white bass that we're after, well, then I've got another rod back here with a series of jigs tied on, and we'll work those white bass with that and possibly catch 2 and 3 at a time depending on how big the school is there. So again, I don't see any surface activity going on at the present time, but that don't mean that they're not here. So I'm just going to cover some water until we find them. The weather today, there's supposed to be some scattered storms this morning. Right now, radar is looking pretty good, so I'm hoping I have a window of time here where I can get out here and have some fun. Because when you get on a big school of white bass or strappers, man, is it a good time. It can be action-packed, non-stop bites, and that's what I'm hoping to find this morning. Let's get to it. Yep. There's fish on. First one right here, y'all. I trolled right along that shoreline there, downstream. Didn't get anything. Come right back up, heading back up it. Let's see what this is. These are digging, man. These things are hard pulling. This is a white bass right here on that spoon. Now we kind of know at least where some of these fish are at right here. And we know, there he is. We'll let him go. We know 2 things. First off, I know now where some fish are at, and 2, I know that they're preferring that bait to be moving upstream. At least that's what the information I got on that first fish. That's what I'm going to continue to look for. I'll make a pass again back down through here, but if I don't get anything going down the second time, and I again get them coming upstream on the follow-up pass, then we'll know that's how the direction that we need to work our baits. I know that's a long about way of saying that. It's early, I'm tired, y'all, but nevertheless, I'm going to get back to it here, and we're going to see if we can get some more of these things today. There it goes. There it goes. Nope, he didn't hook up. They're all over it right here, y'all. There he is. There he is. He's hooked up that time. Y'all, we got a school right here. I'm going to reel this one in, and I'm just going to start casting. I'm going to get all those jigs out, and we're going to just wear them out right here. There's an island right here, and they're kind of off the tip of it. Right now I'm setting in 31 feet, but it moves up kind of quick here. There's a point that comes out off the end of this island, and they're right here kind of on the surface on the tip of that point. Here is this one. Yeah, buddy, we're going to start casting. Said I didn't know for sure if these were white bass or strappers I seen busting yesterday. I was too far away, but they're clearly white bass, and we're about to have some fun. I think I actually will. That one's a smaller one there. I'm going to keep that one for some catfish bait for a future trip. Fish. There he is. Y'all, that may not be a white bass right there. That may be a skipjack. Oh, he spit it right there at the kayak. That was a skipjack. You'll find those mixed in with the white bass too. There's another one right after that. That's a skipjack also right there. I can get caught up with him here. He's coming at me quick. Oh, goodness gracious, that one spit it too. These skipjack, buddy, they got hard mouths, and they are notorious for spitting the hook. They are called Tennessee tarpon here where I'm from. That's their nickname because of how they act. They come flying up out of the water, spitting the hook. This one here's got my jigs all tangled up. I'll show you what I'm using here in just a second when I get this mess undone. So my baits here, y'all. You can see I've got a series of jigs. These are just 1/8 ounce crappie jigs, just the cheap ones there from Walmart. Got them tied in a series of 3. We're allowed 3 hooks per line here in East Tennessee. And I'm gonna just keep casting here. I'm casting these baits downstream and working them back toward me. As I mentioned there, bumbling my way through that first fish, when I made a pass down through here going downstream, pulling my trolling baits, never got the first fish, but when I came back upstream, working them upriver, that's when I got hit. That may not seem like a big deal, and some days it's not, but there are days when for whatever reason you'll pull baits one direction and they'll wear it out, and then you try it a different direction and they won't touch it. So always be mindful of that. Pay attention to it. Pay attention to your speed, any movements that you're adding to the rod or the bait. Whatever you do when you're catching a fish, repeat it, because what you were doing was working. Fish right there. I was moving back up. The wind and the current while I was fighting them other fish have moved me on top of where I was wanting to be casting. Moved me right through those fish. So I'm moving back upstream here so I can target them effectively. I was trolling this bait behind me on the move. This one here, y'all, I think that's a walleye. It is. That's a walleye right there. I'll be doggone. This is a first. That right there is a first, y'all. I have caught a lot of sauger, but this is my first ever walleye. Tennessee actually has the world record walleye, believe it or not. Now look at that, man. That's awesome. That is awesome. Yeah, I'm gonna get a quick picture of him with my phone before we let him go. All right, I got my pictures of him. Let's let him go. Get on out of there, buddy. There you go. All right, y'all, let's get resituated here again. Well, I was getting those pictures of that walleye. The wind is blowing downstream, and of course we got the current. So I'm just gonna troll my way back up here where I can cast to him again. Fish on again. This is another white bass this time. These things are aggressive, hard fighting fish. Even the small ones like that. I'm gonna throw that one in the cooler. We'll keep him for a future catfishing trip. Let's see what's happening here. Had one get out. There he is. There he is. He's after it. Or he's on it, I should say. I started trolling again through here because I lost the fish. They seem to have moved. I believe that's a skipjack. Let's land that. We'll throw him in the cooler there too. Heck yeah, man. Skipjack, the premium grade A catfish bait here on the Tennessee River. People ask me all the time, how do you catch them? Well, basically what I'm doing here, I troll spoons and jigs, work contours, work creeks, islands, points, things like that to try to find them, and once I get on them, I start casting for them. Now today out here, you know, it's nothing like what my last catfish trip was, where I seen just surface eruptions everywhere. I'm just barely seeing an occasional splash. So they're kind of spread out, kind of sporadic today, but they still here. Oh goodness. There we go. Turn that motor off. That thing's so loud it messes with the camera. About lost the camera there off my chest mount. Started to point it this direction to show this fish. And again, I kind of got off these fish, y'all. This is a good one right here. Look at the size of that one. But I've kind of got off these fish. They have just not been, I have not seen the activity out here this morning like I did on my last trip out. But they're here. They're definitely here. They're just not as active. And so I've kind of had to troll and kind of zigzag. But I tell you, my bites are coming when I'm working upstream against the current. When I'm going downstream or kind of going crossways, I ain't getting nothing but working these baits upwards. We're getting bit. Nice, man. I think I'm gonna go ahead and keep this one too for bait, because I'm gonna try. The catfish spawn's on here right now, but I'm gonna try to do another trip, maybe tomorrow if the weather will allow it. We'll throw them in the cooler. I'm not going to keep very many today, just enough for a catfishing trip. So that one too was on these white crappie jigs. These right here, these are about the cheapest baits you can catch a fish on. They're coming a 8-pack there at Walmart. I think they're like $1.50. And what I do is I take an extra step with them. You know, jigs, like anything else, you get what you pay for, right? You buy a 10-cent jig, you're going to get 10 cents worth of quality out of it. So a tip I can give you to make them last longer is I take some super glue and I super glue the cloth on there, because you catch a skipjack, one or two on one of these, they're going to start unraveling. And so I take some super glue, glue that on there, and then you won't have any issues with it. They'll still bend the hooks after a few fish. You have to kind of be mindful of that, but they won't come unraveled. So, you know, I know it's an extra step. You could certainly avoid that if you want to, you know, spend a little more and get a hand-tied jig, a little better quality. But these little 10-cent jigs, man, they'll catch some heck out of some skipjack and some white bass. So let's get back to it, y'all. Tell you what, I'm gonna stand up right quick, and we're just gonna make some casts right here again. I would love to keep trolling, but that torpedo motor is just so loud it interferes with the audio on my videos. My next kayak, stay tuned for that, will have a little bit quieter motor, so hopefully I'll be able to do some more trolling videos and get a little better quality of the audio on the video. Won't be so annoying. You'll still have to listen to my voice, which I have been told can be annoying, but you won't have to hear the motor noise. There he is. Let's see what this one is. That's another white bass. Heck yeah. Just I quit trolling because I'm working on making a video today, not just catching fish. There's that one. We're going to keep that one too. If I was just out here today catching bait, I'd be trolling. These fish are just kind of sporadic on this point, and the more effective manner would be to troll. Just keep trolling, keep moving, but I just cannot do that and film and make a good video. So we're going to cast. We're still going to get some. I'm getting enough bait here for my next catfishing trip, and we're going to get hopefully a decent video. I think these fish have moved a little deeper here. You see the marks all over the screen. I'm kind of working up on this island here now. The point comes, it's off the screen there this way. I'm just kind of working along the bank here now, this island, and you can see there they are. Fish right there. Thought we was about to get back on them there after I seen them on the screen. I just worked higher up on this island over here. And this one here. That one, I believe, is a small striper. Yep, it is. So we've had skipjack, white bass, walleye, and now we've got a little striped bass. Oh, quit, buddy. I'm gonna let you go if you quit. Yeah. That right there, man. They hard fighting fish, even these small ones like this. They'll put a tug in that line, buddy. Yeah, buddy. All right. See ya. Go get big for me. I'll back off this area. The dang wind keeps pushing me up on the bank. There he is. He missed it 3 times. That's a skipjack again. Oh, I got 2 of them on there. I got 2 of them. Let's see if I can get them in. Oh, God dang it. I about said some cuss words right there, y'all. Hooked 2 of them. Lost both. That's common with skipjack. That's common. That's why I try to horse them in. This rod I'm using here, this is a new skipjack rod I got, Academy Roughneck. If you watch my channel regularly, you've seen me using the casting version for the catfish. This one was on clearance also. This one was $13.99, a little bit more expensive than the others, but still, it's a stiff action rod, which is what I want for skipjack, because when I hook them, I try to get them in. I don't play them out like I do some of the other fish. If you do, they'll come up flying through the air and spit that hook every time. You got to kind of horse them in. And having a stiffer action rod, there's another one. It allows you to get them in quicker and kind of horse them, and you don't lose as many. This one here's a white bass. We won't lose him. Their mouths are a little softer. Get the hook a little better. I hate I missed that. 2 skipjack, lost them both. Another one. I think I'm gonna go ahead and keep him too. That's gonna be the last one I keep. I definitely will keep some more skipjack if we get on any more of them. I'll put them in the freezer. But we'll keep one more white bass here for my next catfishing trip, and then we'll be done. We'll be done with bait for the day. But I ain't done fishing. I'm gonna fish a while longer. The wind's starting to kick up, moving me down through here a little quicker. I'm gonna have to check radar, make sure there ain't some storms moving in. But I'm gonna try to catch a few more of them. They fun. Oh, there's one. That's another skipjack right there. Let's see if I can actually land this one for once. I'm gonna try to swing him in without knocking my camera over. The front camera mounts in the way when you skipjack fishing. It's another reason why I don't ever film skipjack videos, is because I need a way to land these fish, and that thing right there gets in the way. But we got us another in here finally. I'm down here. Just keep making my way along this island. There he is. He's a small one, but we'll get some baits out of him. Oh, lost the rod overboard. All right, back to it. There he is. Fish on. I was coming back up here to the top of this island, going to make another pass, and I was trolling these jigs on the way back up through here. And what we got? White bass. That's another one. I'm just, the wind and the current. I was out there on the tip of that point first thing this morning and getting some. They were suspended off a tip of that thing, but between the wind and the current, I just can't control the kayak, y'all. I'm just getting blown in. So I said, screw it. Since I ain't gonna troll due to the motor noise, I'm just gonna let this wind and the current push me down through here along this island, and I'm gonna cast and kind of work these jigs back up to me. I'm working them perpendicular to the bank, but I'm trying to, again, pull them upstream a little bit at an angle because all these fish that I've got today have been coming upstream. When I was out there trolling this morning, kind of zigzagging around, coming down through here, when I was coming downstream, I wasn't catching squat. But going upstream, that's when you start feeling the taps. Had some of them miss, some of them hit. It's just, for some reason, fish get like that sometimes. They just key in. They get this thing. I'm gonna let this one go. I'm done catching bait unless we get skipjack. That's one of them things, again, y'all just be mindful of it, pay attention to it, because little subtle things like that you pick up on. Some days it won't matter. Like the other day when I was out here catfishing and seen all that just surface eruption going on, I don't know what they were. Could have been skipjack, white bass, striped bass. It really don't matter. When you get a huge eruption of fish like that, it don't matter what you throw in there or what direction it's coming from, they're going to be all over it. But a day like today, where the fish are obviously still here, but it hasn't been as active. I've seen very little surface activity out here this morning. Days like today, the way, the speed, the depth, the direction your bait's going, all of those things can make a huge difference on whether you catch fish or not, or how many fish you catch. So anyway, enough of me talking. I talk too dang much in these videos. I'm going to get back up here at the top of this island, and we're going to make another pass through here. Another one, skipjack. See if we can actually land this one. Let's see if we can get him in here. Oh, we got him, y'all, we got him. Oh, diggity dog, we got us another one. Oh, catfish candy right there. There ain't a better bait out here on the Tennessee River. You can see the last skipjack I hooked had broke off one of my jigs. So we're going 2 jigs right now. We got another. They'll do that to you. They'll break you off from time to time. Alright guys, from the looks of radar, I'm about to have to put these cameras up, and I may have to make a run to the car here if it's more than just rain that's about to hit me. But this morning's trip out here, got that walleye, man. How the heck I have fished out here for as long as I have and not just accidentally lucked into one of them things before is mind-boggling. But we finally got the first one today, and I know it wasn't very big, but by gosh, I'm proud of that thing. As far as the rest of the morning out here, I got some skipjack, got some white bass, stripers. The bite wasn't on like it was on my last catfishing trip where I just seen them just surface just erupting out here, but it was good enough. And hopefully today's video was maybe helpful for some of y'all, because I get a lot of questions about skipjack. How, where, when I'm catching them, what I'm catching them on, all that stuff. And the fact is, man, I just put in a lot of time for them. I do a lot of trolling. I'll cover a lot of water and I troll until I find them. And once I find them, I key in on them with the jigs. Those jigs right there, these cheap Marabou Walmart jigs, that's what I catch 80% of my skipjack on throughout the year. I will occasionally use some curly tail grubs. They seem to like those at certain times. The spoon is a great bait for certain times of the year. That's a really effective tool for trolling. That's a good way to find them. But once I get on them, these jigs right here, I use white most of the time. It's just the color I got the most confidence in. Occasionally I'll mix it up and go chartreuse, but these white Marabou jigs from the Walmart is what I get the bulk of my skipjack on. And got a few today, missed a few more, but I got some. I got enough bait for a catfishing trip or two, and had some fun out here. It was a good morning. I wish I could stay a little bit longer, but I think this rain and the weather is going to move me out of here. Anyway guys, hope you enjoyed the video. I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.